Hello and welcome back. I'm Kolrak and the game is The Forgotten City. Now this is going to be the last episode in this series.
No, there is another.
There's one more thing left to do, I think. Just to find the last ending number 4. And then, if I understand this correctly, we will be done. But to get to the ending, I have to do a bunch of things. I think first of all I have to find a way to make sure that Malleolus does not run in the election, because otherwise he will get elected, or even if he does not get elected, he will trigger the golden rule and the loop will restart. I have a few ideas, because I've been thinking, it's been a few days for me, but I'm not sure about any of these ideas, so I'm going to try things. Okay, the option to get the letter is no longer here, so...
Finally!
Yeah,
This is outrageous.
this is not the answer. Now, once before we talked to Aurelia, and we were interrupted by the golden rule
So you
triggering.
survived the system. Probably just a stroke of fortune.
Find me. Where is Proserpina? Is there some sort of hidden place here where I can go and find Proserpina?
So, what brings you to my tavern?
Heard any interesting gossip?
Certainly, for 10 denarii.
Okay, here's Tandanari.
Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair until one day she just snapped. This place has that effect on people. Now she just stands around, caked in filth, muttering nonsense to herself. It's a real shame. Now I have to do my own hair.
Here's another Tandanari.
I hear that if Malleolus is elected, he's gonna throw a small festival to celebrate, with entertainment and everything. Can't wait to find out what it is.
Is that all? That's a bit underwhelming.
All right, see ya.
Let me see if I can talk to Fabia. Do you have anything new to say?
You took care of him?
He had a tragic accident in that shrine.
An accident? So, it's over? Oh God, it's such a relief. I really thought we were all going to die. I do have a question though. That shrine, the one I was going to hide in, did you know it was going to collapse?
If I said yes, I'd be admitting to murder. Or I could just lie. Let me try this one.
I don't understand. Oh, I see. Oh, I should probably keep my big mouth shut then.
Yeah.
Sorry. I promise, nobody else will ever know what you did. But I know. That was really clever. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia. Sorry I was a bit frantic before. Need anything?
But you have nothing new to say. Okay.
All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Can I tell him not to bother Vergil anymore?
Ah, you again.
Are you the one threatening Vergil?
No idea what you're talking about.
I know it was you.
Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head. Makes you angry, mean. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted.
This is new.
But it's the truth. with the willow bark. I'm already starting to feel like myself again.
That's good.
And I know I said I owe you one. So, I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
Alright, no problem. We had never done that. That's very, very good. And now probably we can talk to Vergil and tell him that his problem is solved.
Welcome back.
Good. Now we have a new option. We can tell Vergil, don't worry about the threats. It's just Rufius, and he's never going to hurt you.
What demon or spirit told you about that?
I found an incomplete note in his house.
You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Yes, and he won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I found a treatment for his rheumatism, which was making him agitated and compounding some other personal issues.
Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out.
And we just got an achievement, Lion Tamer, for helping Vergil. Happy to help. I think he wants to help clean up his graffiti too.
Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him.
That's very good. The sinner is resolved. Now can I change your vote?
My vote isn't for sale.
No. Not even helping him will change his vote.
Nice to talk to you.
Now, I've tried everything I could. I've talked to everyone, I think. And still I have no idea how to finish this.
Don't you just love springtime?
I do. Ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me.
This might be the breakthrough we needed. If Malleolus runs, he's going to break the golden rule and kill us all.
And how could you... Oh, wait. You've seen it in another time loop, haven't you? Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal?
Alright. This is progress. This is very good. We are making progress.
All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
Now, Galerius is willing to run against Sentius if we can make Malleolus not run.
So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius elected magistrate, you'd need to persuade Malleolus to withdraw somehow.
Okay,
See you again soon, I hope.
I guess we can try talking to Malleolus again. Maybe now that Galerius has said he's willing to run, and we have the letter proving his Quintius, maybe Malleolus will have something new to say, and maybe we can change things.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
I want you to withdraw from the election.
Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Because I know you're Quinctius. This is great. I found it. Yes. Because I know you're Quinctius. Your wife gave me your love letter, and Nero wants you dead.
So, it finally caught up with me. I suppose that makes you, what, one of Nero's assassins?
No? Time traveler? No, I'm not. Fortunately for you. I guess if I lie, that would trigger the golden rule.
So, you're not going to kill me?
No, I'm not. Not if you withdraw from the election immediately and release everyone in debt bondage to you.
Oh, so much work and money. Oh, well, if I do it, you'd let me live?
I will.
Fine. Ruling this cesspit of a city would have been beneath me anyway. I'll have Domitius notify the priestess of my withdrawal and release those two from debt bondage.
Yes.
There. You got what you wanted. Now, please, leave my villa and never speak to me again.
We're doing it. This is amazing. We are doing it. Now let's see where he goes.
Domitius, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
I've made a decision to release Julia and Ulpius and withdraw from the election. I want you to go and inform Equitia.
Sir? Are you under duress, sir?
I've just had a change of heart.
But you were on track to be magistrate, sir. All that work, all that money, wasted.
Those are my orders. Carry them out.
As you wish, sir.
Okay, now let me see what Domitius does. Because this is big. This is the path to the end that we wanted. What's he doing? Oh, here's the priestess.
Priestess, Malleolus has decided to withdraw from the election.
Oh, well, that's surprising. But thank you for telling me. I'll let everyone know. Citizens, I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default. That is all.
Okay. Now we talk to Galerius.
Salve again, my Sisyphean friend. Now, what's on your mind?
You know what's on my mind. Malleolus has withdrawn from the election.
He did? Oh, that was unexpected. I wonder what could have possessed him to do that. Well, I guess it's time for me to step up then.
It is.
I'll let Equitia know I'll be running.
Very good.
All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
I think I have found a way. Yeah. Now we need to find Rufius to make sure he votes for Galerius. I do not know if this is necessary, but just in case. I can't move. I can't move. What if she's a statue? She speaks through the statues. And she says she can't move. Are you Proserpina? No, you're not. Where's Rufius? I need to find Rufius.
Ah, you again.
It's me again. Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, military man, knows what he's doing.
Anything I can do to change that?
No. See you around.
Huh.
Don't you just love springtime? Salve again, my Sisyphean friend. Oh, and I'm in the running for Magistrate. Feeling kinda nervous, but I'm hoping it'll all be worth it when I order Dooley's release. I just hope I'll have the votes I need. Now, what's on your mind?
I'll be going now.
Alright, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
Okay, now it's only a matter of making sure most people vote for Galerius. And I think we cannot change Rufius' vote, so we need to talk to people. Let me see. I'm pretty sure Georgius will vote for
my
Galerius.
sartorial friend. Hello again, my sartorial friend. What is on your mind?
Who are you going to vote for?
Sendius, I suppose. I wouldn't say I hold him in the highest esteem, but he has managed to keep order so far.
Anything I can do to change that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend. I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad. It's all up to you, I know. That's a lot of pressure.
Whatever's in that great temple up there. Hello there, friend. May I say, that is a glorious bow you...
You'd never believe me if I told you.
Well, I'll take your word for it. But perhaps you'd be interested in selling it to me. I mean...
No, I'm not selling you anything. It's not for sale.
Oh well, let me know if you change your mind. But for now, can I help you with something?
Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, I suppose. Stability is always good for business.
I'd like you to vote for Galerius.
Yeah? And what's he gonna do for me? He's nothing.
Would a gift change your mind?
Certainly. For a few thousand denarii.
Are you sure it won't break the golden rule?
Nothing illegal about it.
What do you mean I don't have that kind of money?
Well, that's a shame. Come back if you change your mind.
I need lots of money, so let's go get all the money. Here's money.
Certainly.
Yeah, now I can get it. Fine, here's 3,000 denarii.
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
I'll be going now.
Very well. Another time.
So that's why you needed all the money. 3,000. Wow, that's a lot.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Who are you going to vote for?
What now? I'm not going.
Okay.
Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
And Horatius is going to vote for Sentius, obviously. So that's not good.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Shalom.
Ulpius, who are you going to vote for?
Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be insane to vote for Malleolus after what he did to me.
Would you consider voting for Galerius?
Galerius, the farmer? He's a good man, but I think he's more valuable on the farm than as magistrate.
Oh no. Seems like we cannot change his mind. Everyone is voting for Sentius. Where is everyone? Are they at the tavern? They are.
Ixian turns.
Citizens. Sentius.
Back again. Couldn't stay away, huh?
Can you get Rufius drunk so he doesn't vote? Nope. Galerius is running, but I think he will only get one vote. I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
I've already found a way to escape.
Truly? Then why are you still here?
Because the path will result in the deaths of nearly everyone here, and I don't want that.
Ah, I see. Then it seems you have made a great sacrifice for all of us, friend. I admire your compassion. Truly. Thank you. But unfortunately, I'm afraid your only other option will be to confront you-know-who.
I hope you have a good reason for flouting my weapons ban. I thought I told you to get out of my villa.
Nothing we can say. Maybe Sentia can help. I have not talked to her for a while.
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Can we talk about Scintilla? I know where she is.
Oh, you heard about her disappearance, I take it.
I found her. Your father has been keeping her tied up in the upper cistern. Wow, this is big.
What? Is this some kind of crude commoner joke?
It's no joke.
No, surely not. Father, is this true?
I'm afraid it is.
I don't understand. Why? Why would you do such a thing?
Because she found a way out. And if you're wondering why I'm telling you this, it's because you're never going to remember any of it. All I have to do is commit a sin, and the day will begin again. Watch this. I'm going to kill you now.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, this is not good. Let me load. I'm lost here. It seems I can't convince anyone else to vote for Galerius. But I want to see how things go. So I think I'm going to tell Equitia to start the election now.
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Galerius, the challenger. Why do you ask? As I said, I'm planning to hold... Very well. I'll get things started right away.
Okay, we're almost ready to start.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helver. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Sentius.
Dacius.
Galerius.
Virgil.
Sentius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Sextus Sentius Imperiosus.
My fellow citizens, you've placed your trust in me once again, and you won't regret it. I vow that each day henceforth will be just like this one, and I will deliver.
You and your rival, whatever your name is, you're responsible for this, aren't you? Nobody likes Caput Murdae foreigners interfering in an election.
Shut up and let the magistrate speak.
Malleolus is gonna be magistrate by the end of the day.
What?
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
He's not even running.
Stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem.
Wait, I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her.
This has to be a bug.
This is insanity.
He agreed to not run.
Doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is. A children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm gonna enjoy killing you, old man.
This makes no sense.
The many shall suffer.
Did she say I'm close now? I need to listen to that again.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back?
Okay, let me try to do this again.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening. Yulia? Oh no. Alright, I can do that.
Okay, I've told Galerius to do everything that I usually tell him to do, but there is a new option. Tell Malleolus you know his real name is Quintius, thanks to Claudia, and that Nero sends his regards. Then tell him to withdraw from the election and release his dead bondsman.
What? Are you... You're serious, aren't you? I doubt Domitius will let me talk to him, but I'll make sure he passes on the message.
That's it. Now go as fast as you can.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Let me see if this is the final time I have to do all of this. The one thing that does not connect to anything else is this. The golden eggs. What happens if I turn the goose to gold? We get a golden goose. Can we get a golden goat? We have a golden goat. So I guess animal cruelty is not against the golden rule.
I hear your rheumatism has you so riled up you've been harassing Vergil.
What? My condition is nobody's business.
Okay, Galerius is going around helping people. Why is this person's head backwards like that? That's not a normal thing a human neck can do. No, she has moved. She has moved. Okay, that's very weird. Yeah, they do move. Oh, that's so creepy. That's very creepy. Huh. Okay, interesting.
Ah, you again. Galerius.
Yeah.
Sorted out my rheumatism. For the first time in a long time, I'm not in constant pain. Good man. Fine.
Okay.
See you around.
So we have 2 votes for Galerius, Rufius, Ulpius. And
shiny.
Theseus, I think.
How'd you do?
Isn't he going to vote for Galerius? That should be 3 votes. Doesn't that win the election? I'm so confused. I think 3 votes should be enough to win But then again,
How'd you do?
how many votes did he have before? Didn't he already have 3 votes? I don't know. I just saved the game and I will try to make him vote for Galerius. Would a gift change your mind?
Certainly. For a few thousand denarii.
Fine. Here's 3,000 denarii.
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
I'll be going now.
Very well. Another time.
Now I have 3 votes for Galerius, from Oppius, Rufius, and Decius. But Vergil,
You look well, my
Georgius, and Horatius are going to vote
That's quite an impressive bow.
for
you have there.
Sentius.
Just like Diana's.
The question is, am I forgetting anyone? Well, I think that's 3 votes for Galerius. And there will be 3 votes for Sentius, coming from Georgius, Vergil, and Horatius. The gladiator guy does not vote, so that should be a tie. 3 votes for each candidate. Maybe that'll be enough. Maybe then Equitia gets to decide.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesto.
Let me start the election.
It must be completed by dusk. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Galerius, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Let me try to start the election and see how it goes.
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. But I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason. Yes. I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict. Very well. I'll get things started right away. Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Time to go to the theater.
Now I want to see, first of all, if Galerius can win, and then what happens with Malleolus and Domitius. Will they try to steal the election with violence again, or will Malleolus accept the result?
Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote.
Okay, let's
I'll
see.
start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Oh, this is new.
Galerius.
Virgil.
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Everyone is voting for Galerius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
This is amazing.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
Wow.
Citizens.
A landslide.
You have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helver.
Incredible.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
Wow. We did it. This is so great. I know, I need to help you, but how? First, let me see Dula's release.
Glad Galerius won. He deserved it.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georges I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
This is great. Hi, Dooley.
Hello? I'm Dooley. Magistrate Galerius said I should thank the newcomer. Are you the newcomer?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, it is you. Then, thank you. You're a big helper. I was locked up, but they let me out again. I'm so happy.
You're welcome.
You can have my shiny plaque if you want, and maybe you can help me find my treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me, and he said he always would. But then he died. But before that, he told me if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious.
What was it?
He gave me a key to the cisterns and told me to keep it safe. He said there's something very precious way up high. Please help me find it. Please. I had to keep it a secret until I found someone I could trust.
All right, I will help you.
Oh, thank you. Here's the key.
And he gives me the key to the upper cistern. I thought I would never have this. I cannot imagine why Sentius did not take this from him. But okay. I guess if you haven't managed to get to the upper cistern, this is the way you finally do it.
Hope you find it. In the cisterns, way up high, Hannibal said. Oh, look over there. Something shining. Is it treasure? Maybe it is treasure. I could see it for myself. So pretty. And it's just lying out here in the open. Maybe nobody wants it anymore. Maybe no one will mind if I
Please do not steal.
take it.
Don't you dare.
The many
Oh,
shall
no.
suffer
This
for
is
the
very bad.
sins of the one.
Take item. Oh, this is a problem. First thing he does is steal. That's not great.
Finish the job. Go on.
I will finish the job. The Greek plaque. Ouch. Oh no, I'm going to the temple. No one will stop me. Not even you. Okay, I'm dead. Continue from last save. This makes things difficult. But I guess I could just start in a loop. Come on. No? Come on. No. Okay, let me try to start on a loop. Maybe that's all I need. And everyone will be live. Yeah, I need all the zip lines I can get. They are shooting at me. They are trying to kill me. Is a problem? Okay. Run. If this does not work, I can always load the save. And try to get into the temple. But doing this with all the statues shooting at me is a bit stressful, so I'd rather do it calmly in a new loop. Now the thing is, I need to have the plaque, and I do have the Greek plaque. Okay, I had a little break. Now that we're back here and we have the Greek plaque, we should be able to enter the temple.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back?
Take care of a few things.
Well, it sounds serious.
And now we go into the temple. But I guess we have to wait until Ulpius is out of there. Now, Galerius should be here. No? Oh, he went to the temple, to the assassin
Whatever's
first.
in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Okay, he's talking to the assassin. And now he goes to the clinic to help Yulia.
Lucretia, no time to explain. I'm supposed to give you the Sylphium resin for Yulia.
What? Quick, give it here. I'm just going to help her swallow this. I think she's going to be all right. Galerius, you're amazing. How did you know?
I was just doing what the new guy told me.
I don't understand.
We should have the sound of the temple crumbling.
Thank you so much.
Wonder how much one of these...
There it is. It's very loud every time. Now Galerius waits for Rufius. It's like a little dance, and we know each step, because we have done this quite a few times now.
Salve, Rufius. I hear your rheumatism has you so riled up you've been harassing Vergil.
What? My condition is nobody's business but mine.
There's no need for that. I just wanted to give you this willow bark to help you treat it.
A treatment? Really? Thank God. Finally, some relief after all this time. Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Vergil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
Now is he going to talk to Malleolus? Yeah, looks like it. Let's see what they say.
What now?
I have a message from Malleolus.
Yeah? Who's it from?
The Emperor. He knows Malleolus's real name is Quinctius, thanks to Claudia, and demands he withdraw from the election and release Ulpius and Yulia immediately.
Are you out of your mind, farm boy?
Domitius, that's enough.
What? You're not going to listen to this, dolt, are you?
Galerius, all right, I'll withdraw, and Ulpius and Julia are free. I trust our business is concluded.
Yes, that ought to do it. I guess I'll go and tell Ulpius the good news then.
I'll let you pass. He does watch through their eyes.
Citizen.
Good news, Ulpius. Malleolus has agreed to release you and Yulia from your debts.
What? Are you messing with me?
I wouldn't do that. You're both free.
We're free.
Yeah.
We're free.
Everyone is free, everyone is safe. And now it's time to go to the temple. And hope I'll be able to get them out of this place.
I hope you're taking care of yourself.
The game is saving. Now. Return all 4 plaques to the obelisk. What is that? Enter the great temple. The doors are open, and I can now enter the great temple. I'm nervous. Speak his name. Okay. Hades, Lord of Many, grant me an audience. Nergal, the Fierce One, grant me an audience. Osiris, Lord of Silence, grant me an audience. Or Pluto, Father of Riches, grant me an audience. I need to say his name. Any of these will work, I think. We'll say Pluto, because we're among Romans. And there we go. Okay. This is very exciting. Speak. Pluto, Father of Riches, grant me an audience. What is that? No? Oh, maybe I have to go back in time. First Pluto, then Hades. And now we're in the Egyptian part. So I'm going to have to say Osiris. Yeah, I understand. I have to use each of his names. Osiris. Good. And now we are in the Sumerian part. So Nergal. Here it is. Nergal, the Fierce One, grant me an audience. That's bright. And this is very modern. Looks like a spaceship or something like that. Out of a sci-fi movie. Wow. Whoa. Is this unexpected? What the hell? Where are we? But look at that. That's cuneiform. Sumerian writing in a spaceship thing. There are other areas. Okay. And that's the Earth. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to take it all in. We meet at last. So Proserpina is here.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You are unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
That is very good, because I have many questions. Let's start at the beginning. What's your story?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
You're a god?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Okay, someone said that any technology that's sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. So I guess that's the idea. You're some sort of future man with incredible technology. So, in the eyes of ancient civilizations, you are effectively a god. Why do you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
Interesting. May I see your true form?
No. Long ago I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Who is the woman on your left? I didn't see because it zoomed in on him very quickly.
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpine to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal.
Okay, not saying anything.
Your gaze lingers too long.
Who is that on your right?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
What is this place?
It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
A wager? What was the wager you made?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpine saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you, without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
That's a lot to take in. It's a very interesting story. Let's continue, because I want to know more. I'm curious now. Who are your kin?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
How did you decide who comes here?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for. Only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persepolis along with it.
How did humans learn about the underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer, and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place, and their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Okay. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
Are you responsible for the Golden Rule?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people into gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold, and when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again.
Wow.
And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels.
Now there is something here that makes no sense. He keeps criticizing humans for their tendency to sin and be violent towards each other. And he said he comes from a place with no sin, no violence, but he acted like a cruel psychopath. He's very cruel and very violent. So something is not quite right here. So you're responsible for destroying all these lives?
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
You're a tyrant, you're cruel, you're violent. You are just like the worst of humans. Where did these golden bows come from?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
What do you consider a sin?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
Curious? Because it is true that humans are unable to uphold this rule, but you do the same. Or would you want to be covered in gold forever, conscious but unable to move? Sounds like the philosopher was wiser than you are. That's what it sounds like to me. That principle is not as easy to apply as it sounds. It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either. That's right. I've always lived my life that way. Lie. No, it doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either.
Enough. You clearly know nothing.
And you clearly are not very self-aware. How do you know when people sin?
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes.
Is Proserpina connected to the statues in the same way?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
I've seen some terrible things here that you didn't consider a sin. How could you let them happen?
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example?
Price gouging for life-saving medicine?
The merchant. How is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined?
He wouldn't want someone else to demand an outrageous price for the medicine he needed if he was dying.
I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others, and he would be quite capable of paying the price anyway.
You can't know what he would expect. You're just speculating. Fair enough. I disagree with that. You can't know what he would expect. You are just speculating.
Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation.
Doesn't that make it inherently subjective and unreliable?
Not if we're wise enough to know the mind of man.
And you think you know the minds of other people?
Supposing you're right, and my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
That is obviously not the point. So I'm going to say no, of course not. Never mind.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Debt bondage.
You speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
He wouldn't want to be trapped in a 30-year labor contract because of a loan.
And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others.
The whole concept of debt bondage, like slavery, is unethical. It's illegal under international law where I'm from.
Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority, this is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty where you're from?
I have only one option. It's customary to take out a loan to buy a house, and in some places to pay for an education.
I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt?
Okay, they are only giving me an option each time, trapping me into a situation where I have to say what they want me to say. It depends. Typically decades. Sometimes their entire life.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
He has a point, but it's not exactly the same thing.
Supposing you're right, and my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
Yeah, he always ends the same way. He twists my point to make it seem like he's right, and then he threatens to turn everyone to gold. No, of course, never mind.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Experiments on the golden statues.
The midwife and the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want to be experimented upon if she was gilded.
The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves. They are forsaken. What happens to them is no concern of mine.
We have been shown that they are conscious and sentient and able to feel pain and suffering, so yeah. That makes no sense. That seems like an extremely literal interpretation of the rule.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. A literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language.
More excuses? If our language is full of ambiguity, doesn't that make the rule inherently subjective and unreliable?
Supposing you're right, and my law has been broken,
And yeah, again,
and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
nothing I can say. I am right and you know it.
Then your desire to be right outweighs your desire to survive. You will make a fine statue.
This is getting interesting. Enough talk. I'm going to end this. And I can choose which bow I use. Draw a golden bow.
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon?
Okay, I can do that. You may be immortal, but your beloved isn't.
How dare you threaten her? This ends now.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Run. He's running. Now what? Ouch. I need to dodge. Not like that. Where do I go now? We are following Sentia's back to the portal. Now we have changed something about Proserpina. We have taken her out of her state of suspension. And even though I don't want to, I think I will have to cut this one here, because this episode is getting very long. And I will be back with you very soon with the last part of this series and the last fourth ending of this game. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.